Hi, my name is Anna Yurkin, and I work on the Design for Excellence team at Microsoft. This is a companion video to the service guide of the Surface Pro 13-inch with Snapdragon processor, as well as a Surface Pro for Business 13-inch with Intel processor and its 5G version. We will focus specifically on the disassembly and reassembly of the thermal module for each device. All other prerequisites and subsequent steps are identical to those of the Surface Pro 10 and Surface Pro 10 5G repair videos. Please watch the repair guides up to the thermal module removal steps. For all devices, begin by disconnecting the fan from the motherboard. Using ESD safe tweezers, lift the locking tab on the fan connector. Once the tab is lifted, gently slide the fan FPC straight out of the connector. Next, for Wi-Fi devices only, remove the SoC and display tapes along the top and right edge of the thermal module. Then, for all devices, remove the SoC shield lid that covers the thermal module. Using ESD safe tweezers, begin lifting from the right corner and carefully continue lifting around the edges of the shield. Then, using a 3IP Torx Plus driver, remove the thermal module screws, which are labeled with a thermometer icon. For Wi-Fi devices, remove 12 screws. For the 5G device, remove 11 screws. With all screws removed, begin separating the thermal module from the motherboard. Using a plastic opening tool, gently apply light lifting force along the edges of the thermal module to release it from the motherboard. Once loosened, lift the thermal module using both hands. Slowly rotate the module to clear of the enclosure. Take extra care not to bend the heat pipe or wrinkle the graphite sheets. If the thermal module or heat pipes are bent, the module must be replaced. Clean all remaining thermal interface materials from the motherboard and the thermal module. Use a nylon spudger to scrape away bulk material. Then use isopropyl alcohol and cleaning swabs to remove all residue from the contact areas. The appearance of the main chip will differ between Snapdragon and Intel configurations, but all residual thermal materials must be completely removed in both cases. Additionally, for the 5G device, clean the thermal putty over the central shield area. With the thermal module and motherboard contact surfaces fully cleaned, the thermal module removal process is complete. We will now transition into the thermal module installation procedure. For all devices, apply the respective CPU thermal pad to the center of the main processor on the motherboard, aligning it squarely with the chip's surface as instructed in the service guide. Ensure the pad is fully seated and centered. Do not stretch, fold, or overlap the pad. Next, install the respective thermal charge pads onto the motherboard. For the Wi-Fi devices, install the pad in the lower right section of the motherboard. For the 5G SKUs, install the pad in the middle right section of the motherboard. For the 5G device, using the thermal putty syringe, apply approximately 1.5 tick marks of the thermal putty into the center of the square shield area on the motherboard. Do not spread the thermal putty manually. For all devices, carefully align the thermal module over the motherboard, matching the screw holes and contact surfaces. Lower the thermal module straight down, keeping it level to avoid smearing thermal material or bending the heat pipes. Do not slide the module once it contacts the pads or putty. Using a 3IP Torx Plus driver, fasten the thermal module screws. Install 12 screws for the Wi-Fi devices and 11 screws for the 5G device. Beginning with the screws around the main processor, tighten them in a cross or X pattern to ensure even pressure. Once all screws are seated, continue installing the fan and heat pipe screws. For all devices, install a new SoC shield lid over the thermal module. Press firmly along all edges to ensure the shield is fully seated. Finally, for all devices, reconnect the fan. Ensure the connector locking tab is in the raised position. Slide the fan FPC straight into the motherboard connector until the alignment marks are no longer visible. Press the locking tab down to secure the connection. Thanks for watching the supplemental video. For any disassembly or reassembly steps that were not demonstrated here, please refer to the main Surface Pro 10 and Surface Pro 10 5G repair videos, or the Microsoft Service Guide for complete and detailed instructions. Thanks for watching.